Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great-Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into our time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Well, we have an episode of The Great-Gildersleeve in an hour of comedy that all kind of flows from Fibber McGee and Molly. As you know, The Great-Gildersleeve was a spin-off of Fibber McGee and Molly, the first real spin-off that we're aware of. Harold Peary starring as Gildy in this episode from February 15th, 1950, and the wedding of Bronco and Marjorie grows ever closer.
The Kraft Foods Company, makers of Kraft quality foods, presents Harold Peary as the Great Gildersleeve. Well, let's see what's doing with the Great Gildersleeve. Every evening about this time, Summerfield's water commissioner can be seen rounding the corner and heading for home.
Well, I guess Bronco's calling on Marjorie again. There's his car. What a jalopy. Hope he gets a new car before they get married. Won't be any fun tying tin cans to a tin can.
Hi, Unc.
Oh, hello, Leroy.
Hey, don't go in the living room.
What?
Marge and Bronco just shooed me out.
Oh? Are they having another spat?
Heck no, they're sitting in there with their heads together, holding hands.
Oh? I wonder what's going on.
Mr. Gildersleeve.
Bertie, don't do that. I didn't hear you.
Mr. Gildersleeve, don't go in the parlor.
Well, I wasn't going to. Let's move away from here, huh? Now, what's the big secret?
Gosh, ever since they got engaged, all they do is whisper. You'd think they both had laryngitis.
Leroy, when you get engaged, you're sicker than you are with laryngitis.
You know what I think, Mr. Gildersleeve?
What, Bertie?
I think they're naming the day.
So soon?
Yeah? Naming what day?
Naming the wedding day, Leroy.
They shooed me out for that? Oh, for corn's sake.
All right, Leroy, all right.
Yes, sir. That's what I think they're doing. They're naming the day.
What makes you think so, Bertie?
Mr. Gildersleeve, when them two sit down with a calendar, they ain't counting the days till Christmas. They're naming the day.
Why don't you go in and find out, Unc?
No, Leroy. They'll let me know when they've decided. I can wait. Of course, they may have already decided I could go in and get the evening paper.
Nice waiting, Unc.
Yeah, guess I'll get the paper. Well, hello, children.
Hello, Uncle Mort.
Hello, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yeah, they're naming the day, all right. Excuse me, I just wanted the evening paper. I'm on my way out.
Oh, wait a minute, Unky. We've got something to tell you.
You do? Now, what could it be?
Well, you tell him, Bronco.
No, you tell him, Marge.
Well, I think you should tell him.
Gosh, somebody tell him!
Leroy. Go ahead, Marjorie. He's right. Somebody tell me.
Tell him, Marge. It was your decision.
No, you tell him, Bronco. You're the head of the family.
Yeah. Gosh. Well, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yes, Bronco?
Mr. Gildersleeve, we've named the day.
No.
May 1st, Unky.
May 1st, well.
Yes, sir. Marjorie Forrester will be joined in marriage to Bronco Thompson on the first day of May in the year 1950. A.D.
A.D. Oh, yeah. Well, congratulations.
Thanks, Unky.
Well, thank you, Marjorie.
Thanks, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Let's have a wedding some other day, Marge.
What's wrong with May 1st?
What's wrong with it? That's May Day. It's already a holiday. Why don't you have the wedding on a day a little kid can get out of school?
Leroy, we don't set the date to accommodate the ring bearer.
Ring bearer?
That's you, my boy. Things are going to be popping around here between now and May 1st. I'll have a lot to do. Wedding invitations, reception plans.
Now, Uncle Mort, don't you take over.
Oh, I wouldn't think of doing a thing like that.
Oh, I'm sure you wouldn't, Mr. Gildersleeve, because the wedding plans are pretty much up to the bride.
You bet it's up to Marjorie. I can see you now, my dear, coming down the stairs.
Down these stairs?
Well, naturally, we'll have the wedding here. You'll be dressed in a new tailored suit.
Tailored suit?
Green, maybe. Your old uncle will be waiting on the bottom step, ready to take you on his arm and deliver you to the blushing bridegroom.
Now, just a minute, Uncle Mort.
That's you, Bronco.
But don't
Here comes the bride.
What a character.
Oh, that's too bad. Bronco had to go home. We could have rehearsed the ceremony right here tonight.
But, Uncle Mort, I haven't even started planning yet.
Well, here's the way I see it, Marjorie. We'll have the fireplace banked with flowers, and the minister will stand right in front of it. Bertie, you stand over there.
Me?
You're the minister.
Yes, sir.
Uncle Mort, we haven't decided where the wedding's going to be, and after all...
Well, that's up to you, my dear. But if it's a nice day, we'll have the reception right out on the front lawn. Wouldn't that be nice, Bertie?
Yes, sir. But like you say, that's up to Miss Marjorie.
Yes, indeed. It's entirely up to Marjorie. But I thought we'd have the friends of the bride on this side of the room and the friends of the groom...
Excuse me, Uncle Mort. I think I'm going to have a headache.
Oh? Sorry, Marjorie. You roll upstairs and lie down. I'll take care of everything.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, where's my pencil? Better make a few notes here. By George, there's nothing like a wedding.
I'll get it, Unc. I'm going over to Piggy's anyway.
All right, my boy. Now, let's see.
Oh, hi, Judge Hooker.
Good evening, Leroy. Is the Lord of the Manor in?
Yeah, he's fixing Marge's wedding.
Oh?
Come on in, Horace.
Thank you.
See you later, Unc. So long, Judge.
Well, has the date been set, Gildy?
Yep, we've decided on May 1st, Judge.
May 1st. Isn't that thrilling? Oh, promise me that someday you and I...
Judge, you should be on the stage.
You think so, Gildy?
Yeah, they've had talking dogs, but never an old goat that sings.
Gildy?
Yeah, sit down, Horace, sit down. I'll tell you what I'm planning for Marjorie's wedding.
Oh, are you making the plans?
Well, it's already given Marjorie a headache, so I had to take over.
Oh, I see.
Now, what do you think of a string trio in the hall, Judge? I could get Irving Hotstetter and two of his hepcats. I imagine they can play wedding music.
I suppose so, if the hepcats can slow down that much. I didn't know that Marjorie had decided to have a home wedding.
Well, of course, it's up to her, Judge. But we could have a beautiful wedding here, right in the home she loves so well.
How do Bronco's parents feel about having it here?
What difference does that make? As everybody knows, this thing is entirely up to Marjorie.
Does everybody know that, Gildy?
Well, if they don't, I'll tell them. Of course, Mrs. Thompson is one of those obnoxious people who'd like to take charge.
Oh?
Yeah, but she won't get an oar in here. And Mr. Thompson's so absent-minded he won't know whose wedding he's attending anyway.
Be that as it may, Gildy, weddings usually run more smoothly if the two families get together for a powwow.
We're not Indians, Judge. There'll be no powwow. I told Bronco to tell his parents the wedding will be here, and that's the last we'll hear of that.
Will you repeat that, Bronco?
Well, Mother, that's what Mr. Gildersleeve said. He said Marjorie and I would be married in his parlor.
Oh, he did, eh?
Edward! Oh, Edward!
Martha, did you hear someone calling me?
I called you.
Oh, it was you, Martha.
Yes.
Well, I just wanted to know.
Edward! Come back here.
You'd better come back, Father. This is important.
Oh, it is? Well.
Edward, it's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
It is?
What? Mr. Gildersleeve wants the marriage to be held in his parlor.
Well, I don't see anything wrong with that.
You don't?
Well, if Gildersleeve wants to get married, why shouldn't he get married in his own park?
Edward, I'm talking about Bronco's wedding.
Oh, is Bronco getting married? Oh, yes, of course. Gildersleeve's niece, Marjorie.
Yeah, that's right, Father.
Yes, a lovely girl, Marjorie.
Edward, we're driving over to Summerfield tomorrow.
Oh, yes, we must attend the wedding.
Oh, Father, the wedding is May 1st.
May 1st? Well, no use going tomorrow.
Oh, good heavens. There's every reason for going tomorrow. I have some ideas about the wedding plans myself.
But, Mother, isn't it up to the bride?
Yes, Martha. Isn't it up to Marjorie and her what does she call him, Uncle Snort?
No. Uncle Mort, Father.
Oh, yes. Well, that's who it's up to, isn't it, Martha?
Leaving things up to Mr. Gildersleeve is like, well, just leaving them. We're motoring to Summerfield tomorrow.
Well, Marjorie, where are you and Bronco off to this morning?
We're going skating on the mill pond, Unky.
It froze again last night, Mr. Gildersleeve.
I did, eh? Well, skate while you can, because we're going to be awfully busy between now and May 1st.
Mr. Gildersleeve, speaking of May 1st, my mother casually mentioned that she and Father might drop in to see you today.
Oh, are they going to be in town?
I think so. In fact, they weren't very far behind me. Yeah, that could be them.
Yes. Why don't they stay at home and let me handle the wedding?
Good morning, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Well, hello, Mrs. Thompson. Glad you came over. And Mr. Thompson, well, come in.
Hello, Gildersleeve. Nice of you to invite us over.
Invite? Oh, yes.
Marjorie, my dear child, how are you?
Oh, fine, thank you. Hello, Mr. Thompson.
Oh, good morning, Marjorie.
This is certainly an unexpected surprise, but delightful. Sit down, everybody.
Mr. Gildersleeve, Edward and I were in town, and we simply couldn't pass up an opportunity to drop in and say hello.
Well, hello. I mean, I'm glad you did, Mrs. Thompson. Marjorie and Bronco were just about to go skating.
Oh, wonderful pastime, skating. If you have ice, of course.
Well, you children run along. Since the date has been set for May 1st, there are a great many things Edward and I want to discuss with Mr. Gildersleeve.
Oh, Mother, if you're going to talk about the wedding plans, I think Marjorie and I should stick around. We're involved, too.
You're not involved, son, until after the wedding.
Edward.
Oh, brother. Well, Marjorie, you and Bronco can use your own judgment about staying, but there's no reason why Mrs. Thompson and I can't get together on things.
No, indeed. I have the highest regard for Mr. Gildersleeve's opinion.
You do?
And I'm sure he has the utmost respect for mine.
Oh, yes, indeed. Now, I thought we'd have the fireplace here banked with flowers.
Uncle Mort, you're assuming, Mr. Gildersleeve, that the ceremony will take place here.
Well, do you have any objections to a home wedding?
Well, it seems to Marjorie and me
Quiet, Bronco. I think a home wedding can be very impressive, Mr. Gildersleeve. I rather like the idea of the ceremony and the reception held in one convenient location.
Well, good. We're in agreement there.
But the place should be our house.
Well, we're not in agreement there.
Shouldn't this be entirely up to Marjorie?
Well, obviously, it's been taken entirely out of our hands, Bronco.
Oh, no, my dear. I've said all along it's entirely up to you. That's why it should be in your own home.
But, Mr. Gildersleeve, you've seen our large living room.
Barn.
We are much better equipped to handle a large gathering.
Well, who said anything about a large gathering?
Bronco, please. There are many reasons why we should have the wedding in Broadmoor, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Now, Martha, why don't we hear some reasons from Marjorie's Uncle Snort?
Yeah. Uncle who?
That's Uncle Mort, Father.
Oh, yes, of course. Well, why don't we listen to his reason?
Edward, we've been listening to Mr. Gildersleeve for quite a while, and I have as big a voice as he has.
Bigger.
I beg your pardon. Oh, come on, Bronco. Let's get out of here.
Good idea.
Where are you going, children? To the mill pond?
Oh, at least that far. Well, now that the children have gone, we can arrive at a decision.
Oh, yes. What do you think we should do, Mr. Thompson?
Well, if there's ice, why don't we all go skating?
Oh!
The Great Gildersleeve will return in just a minute.
February 15th, 1950. The Great Gildersleeve on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, more of The Great Gildersleeve, February 15th, 1950.
Well, Marjorie and Bronco have decided to be married May 1st. But there's been quite a to-do about where the wedding will be. The Great Gildersleeve wants it at his house. Bronco's parents want it at their house. So far, Marjorie hasn't had a chance to say where she wants it. In fact, she and Bronco left the conference in a huff.
Well, Bronco's parents aren't going to tell me how to run this wedding, Bertie.
No, sir. Poor Miss Marjorie.
What's this, Bertie?
Driven out of her own house.
Now, Bertie, we were just trying to help.
Yes, sir. Poor Miss Marjorie. Driven out of her own house by people trying to help.
All right, Bertie. She wasn't driven out. She just went skating.
Yes, sir. I hope that's where she went.
What?
If they're going to get all that help between now and May 1st, it wouldn't surprise me if they eloped.
Eloped? Bertie, that's ridiculous. Say, it's almost dark. Wonder why they aren't home yet.
Yes, I imagine you do.
But that's Marjorie now. Nope, that has to be Leroy's, Pete.
Hi, Unc.
Leroy, have you seen anything of Bronco and Marjorie?
No. Haven't seen him since Marge sneaked back and got her suitcase.
Suitcase? Zeke.
Oh, Miss Marjorie.
Now, Bertie. Leroy, when did Marjorie come back to the house?
Why, you and Mrs. Thompson were battling.
We weren't battling, my boy.
Are you kidding? You think you and Mrs. Thompson were getting married?
What a horrible idea.
Oh, Miss Marjorie.
All right, Bertie. I wonder why Marjorie would take a suitcase skating.
She always does.
She does?
Sure, for her skates and stuff.
Oh, of course. You see, Bertie, she just took her skates and warm clothes for after skating. That's all that's in the bag.
I sure hope that's all that's in the bag.
Why, certainly. She'll be back in time for dinner. Don't you think so, Bertie? Well, don't you, Bertie? Bertie, say something.
Oh, Miss Marjorie.
Well, they weren't skating on the mill pond, but I'm positive they hadn't eloped. Bertie's imagination is just running away with her. I'm not going to let mine run away with me. I'm not worried. I think I'll go into Peavy's and get some black coffee. Hello, Peavy.
Hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. What can your friendly neighborhood druggist do for you?
Well, you might give me a cup of black coffee.
Very well. Cream?
I said black, Peavy.
Very well. Sugar?
Just plain black, Peavy.
Well, sugar doesn't change the color.
Yeah. I know that.
And after coffee has been sitting around all afternoon like this has, sometimes cream doesn't even change its color.
Well, on second thought, Peavy, you better give me some cream and sugar.
That's what I say. I always believe in giving the customer his money's worth. That'll be 5 cents.
Oh, here, friendly neighborhood druggist.
Thank you, Mr. Gildersleeve. Well, I guess everybody's pretty happy at your house.
Why, Peavy?
Well, Judge Hooker tells me that Marjorie's being married on May 1st.
Well, I hope she waits that long.
How's that?
You know how impetuous young people can be.
Well, I know how impetuous I was. I married Mrs. Peavy.
You didn't elope, did you, Peavy?
Well, I don't mind saying we entertained the idea. But Mrs. Peary was a little heavy to carry down a ladder.
I wonder if Marjorie is thinking about eloping.
Well, she didn't mention it when she stopped in here with Bronco, a suitcase, and another young couple.
Peavy, why didn't you tell me Marjorie was in here?
You didn't ask me.
What?
The wedding of Bronco and Marjorie was such a big deal that Look magazine did a whole photo spread on it. Well, sort of. A lot of posed photos and all that. It was a delight. February 15th, 1950, The Great Gildersleeve here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. The conclusion follows these messages. Classic Radio Theater family, you know our friend Mike Lindell has a passion to help everyone get the best sleep of your life. He didn't stop by just creating the best pillow. He created the best bed sheets ever. They look and feel great, which means an even better night's sleep for me because, you know, I'm working like 67 hours a day. Now, Mike's offering the best deal on his Giza Dreams bed sheets ever. You can get a set of Giza sheets for as low as $29.98. You'll never want to sleep on anything else once you slept on a set of Giza Dream sheets. A special offer for you right now. You can get a set of Giza sheets for as low as $29.98. Call 1-800-928-4715. Use the promo code Wyatt. Or go to mypillow.com, use the promo code Wyatt. It's good on anything on the website. That number again, 1-800-928-4715. Use my promo code Wyatt. Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, the conclusion of The Great Gildersleeve, February 15th, 1950.
Talk up, man. Who was with her?
Well, like I say, there was Bronco and another couple.
Who was the other couple?
Well, I didn't know the young man, but the girl was Francie Tyler.
Oh, Francie Tyler, Marjorie's best friend. She was going to be the maid of honor. By now, she's probably a witness.
My. Congratulations, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Don't congratulate me, Peavy. I don't believe it.
Yeah, that's what the fellow said when he saw his first elephant. Tail on both ends.
Yeah. Peavy, little Marjorie wouldn't do this to me. She's a sensible girl.
Well, yes, she is.
And I've been a good uncle to her.
Yes.
They wouldn't run away and get married just because Mrs. Thompson and I had a little trouble getting together on their wedding plans.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that.
Neither would I. Oh? Well, thank you very much, Mrs. Tyler. I just thought Marjorie and Francie might be over there. Oh, no, I'm not going to worry. Not me. Goodbye, Mrs. Tyler. Wouldn't worry for a minute if Francie hadn't gone skating without her skates.
Can't you locate Miss Marjorie anywhere, Mr. Gildersleeve?
No, Bertie, and I'm beginning to fear the worst.
So what if she has eloped, Dunk? Look at all the money you saved.
That's hardly a consideration at a time like this, young man.
Well, it didn't have to happen this way.
Bertie, wonder where they drove to get married.
They couldn't get very far in that old car of Bronco's.
Well, that wouldn't stop them once they got started. And you know what got them started, Miss Gildersleeve?
Don't you get started now, Bertie. I guess I'd better call the Thompson, tell them what's happened. Still, anything as important as this, I should drive over to Broadmoor and tell Mrs. Thompson in person.
Gosh, Unc, you're a glutton for punishment.
Yeah, well, I guess I've asked for it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Keep a light in Marjorie's little window, Leroy. It's going to be hard to break this to the Thompsons. Say, I wonder if Marjorie and Bronco have been here all the time, playing billiards or something. They've got a billiard table.
Yes?
Oh, hello, Mrs. Billiard.
Oh. It's you, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yes, I wondered if Bronco and Marjorie...
Somebody at the door, Martha?
No, just Mr. Gildersleeve.
Gildersleeve?
Yes. Hello, Mr. Thompson.
Oh, Marjorie's uncle,
Mort.
Oh, yes. Come in.
Yes, do.
Oh, thank you. What a family. For 2 cents, I'd have the marriage annulled.
What brings you to Broadmoor, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Well, Mrs. Thompson, I was wondering, are Bronco and Marjorie here?
No. I thought they went skating. After you so stubbornly objected to having the wedding at Broadmoor.
No, Mrs. Thompson.
Of course they went skating. Bronco told me they'd been skating when I saw him this afternoon.
You saw Bronco this afternoon? Well, I guess there's nothing to worry about then.
I saw Bronco in the bank. He was drawing out his savings.
His savings?
Yes, $200.
$200?
Thrifty boy.
Yep. Did he say what it was for?
No, that puzzles me. He said he was going to surprise us.
Oh, that does it. Mrs. Thompson, I have a painful announcement to make.
Oh?
I have every reason to believe that Marjorie and Bronco are married.
What?
Oh, nonsense. It can't be May 1st already.
No, Mr. Thompson. They've eloped.
Eloped?
Yes. I'm afraid they wanted to plan their wedding themselves.
Oh, Mr. Gildersleeve. We should never have interfered.
Oh, Mother Thompson, it's all my fault.
No.
I should never have insisted they be married in Summerfield.
Oh.
The wedding should have been held right here.
Oh, no, Mr. Gildersleeve, it's my fault.
Oh.
I should have left it up to you and Marjorie.
Here, Martha. My handkerchief.
No, Edward.
Gildersleeve.
Thank you, I have one.
This is a lesson to me. I'll never interfere with the children's plans again.
Neither will I. Oh, my goodness.
Mother?
Oh, Bronco.
Huh?
Bronco, you're home.
Well, sure. Hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. Come on outside, everybody. I want you to see my surprise.
Yes, no surprise to us.
Boy, is she a beauty.
Yeah.
You should see the red paint job.
Red paint job, Marjorie?
Oh, good heavens.
No, my new car.
New car?
Look, Auntie, isn't it beautiful?
Well.
This is for our honeymoon, May 1st.
May 1st. Did you hear that, Mrs. Thompson?
Yes, and what a relief. Now we can go ahead with plans for the wedding here at Broadmoor.
Yeah. At Broadmoor? Now, just a minute.
Now, Mr. Gildersleeve, a moment ago you insisted this was where they should be married.
What a sneaky way to get the wedding out of my power. But, Mrs. Thompson...
Now, Mr. Gildersleeve...
Now, wait a minute, everybody. Marge and I have decided we're not having the wedding at Mr. Gildersleeve's house.
There, you see?
What?
And we're not having it at our house either.
What?
Bronco and I have decided we're going to have a church wedding.
Church wedding? Well, good.
Well, a church wedding solves the problem perfectly. Don't you think, Edward?
What problem? oh, yes, of course, indeed.
Well, thank goodness it's settled.
Sure.
We can have the wedding at the church here in Broadmoor.
Broadmoor? This woman never gives up.
The Great Gildersleeve is played by Harold Peary. The show was written by Paul West, John Elliott, and Andy White, with music by Jack Meakin. Included in the cast are Walter Tetley, Mary Lee Robb, Lillian Randolph, Earl Ross, and Dick LeGrand. This is Jay Stewart saying goodnight for the Kraft Foods Company, makers of the famous line of Kraft quality food products.
Yeah, good night, Jay.
Good night, Harold. Be sure to listen in next Wednesday and every Wednesday for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve.
You bet.
February 15th, 1950, The Great Gildersleeve on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Well, we moved from Summerfield to Wistful Vista, the original home of Gildersleeve's Girdle Works, before Gildersleeve moved to Summerfield to take care of Marjorie and her brother. This is an episode of Fibber McGee and Molly, much after this, 6 years later, in fact, February 15th, 1956, and don't you know, Fibber's lost something again.
Hey, Molly, where's my lucky hunting hat? You know?
Your hunting hat?
My lucky hunting hat. With the lucky number in the band and my good luck button on one side and my good luck penny on the other.
The one with the rabbit's foot sewed on top?
Yeah.
And the four-leaf clovers woven around the brim?
That's the one. You know where it is?
No, I don't. But I can understand why you can't find it. It's probably hiding. If I looked that silly, I'd be in hiding.
Oh, come on, kiddo. I'm serious. Today's the day, the big day, and I need that hat.
Big day?
Didn't I tell you?
No. I know it's not a day you're going duck hunting, though, because after that last time you said never again. At least not till you get a new shotgun, you said, with a straight barrel.
Oh, no, I'm not going duck hunting. I'm going skeet shooting.
Oh. Well, I've never eaten a skeet or even seen one, but I hope they're bigger than ducks and easier to hit and fly a lot slower, because every time you come back from a hunting trip empty-handed, you're just in a terrible humor.
Molly, a skeet is not a bird.
Oh?
It's a little clay pigeon. Clay disc. You eject it from an ejector that is called a skeet trap, and as it spins, as it spins through the air, the object is to see who can shoot down the most of them. Me or a certain blubber-bound friend of mine who shall be nameless, so we can settle once and for all who's the sharpest shooter, him or me. The big blob.
Oh, you and Dr. Gamble are at it again, are you?
How'd you know it was him?
Oh, just a stab in the dark.
Well, he's coming by to pick me up in a few minutes, and we're going out to the skeet range. The old-timer's going to throw the skeets and also be the judge. So I need my lucky hunting hat.
Well, I wish I could help you, but...
Hey, I know where it is, I bet.
Good.
I bet it's with my shotgun.
Your shotgun?
Yeah, I can't find it either, so if you'll help me look for my shotgun...
No, McGee. You're not going to use that shotgun for this sleet shoot of yours.
Skeet shoot.
Well, skeet shoot. Not after what you told me the last time you came back from duck hunting.
Huh? Oh, I was just upset, Molly. I didn't really...
You said that gun was so old it was falling apart.
Well, I was...
And besides missing all the ducks because the barrel was crooked, you were lucky the thing didn't blow up in your face, you said.
I was just sore that day, kiddo. I had such rotten luck on that trip that I was...
You never wanted to lay eyes on that broken-down thing again, and as soon as you got enough money together, you were going to buy a new shotgun, you said. A good one.
I know, but that really wasn't me talking, Molly. It was a little man down inside of me. A little man who had so much pride and so few ducks, he didn't want to admit the truth.
He sounded just like you.
Well, me and that little man had us a talk, and we agreed that I missed all those ducks, not because I'm a lousy shot like Doc Gamble claims, but merely because I had an unlucky day. We agreed that it's not fair to take it out on your trusty old shotgun when... Hey, you didn't throw it away, did you? Or give it to the junk man?
No, it's around here. It's still here.
Ooh, you had me worried there for a minute. Well, just show me where it is, and I'll...
No.
Oh, Molly, after all...
Dearie, you can go out on that screech range if you want to.
Skeet range?
Skeet range. You can go out there and have a gun blow up in your face and fill you and that little man inside of you full of scrap metal if you want to, but I'm not going to be an accessory to the crime. No, sir.
Oh, now, look, Molly, you're being just a little bit silly.
No.
That trusty old shotgun of mine is perfectly safe.
That's not what you said the last time you hunted with it.
I told you I was merely upset that day. It's a very good old shotgun. It's not a new one like Doc Gamble's got, but it's a...
Grocery boy who took a leave of absence from the grocery store to officiate at the great shooting match.
Molly, there's the old-timer now.
And who promised to be impartial, unprejudiced, unbiased, unafraid.
Molly.
And back at the grocery store right after lunch, so let's snap it up.
And there's Doc Gamble at the front door. Come on, Molly, where's the shotgun? Help me find it, will you?
Hi, Johnny.
Molly.
Johnny.
Molly.
Johnny. Ain't somebody going to answer the door, kids? What's the matter with you two? Are we going shooting or not? Come in, Doc. Something funny going on here. I don't know what they're up to.
But, Molly, we're supposed to be out there in 15 minutes. I got the range reserved for 12:30, and if we don't...
come on, daughter. Give the boy his shotgun. If I'm late getting back to work, they're liable to check my petty cash. And I can't stand a check right now.
I'm sorry, gentlemen. McGee can leave with you any time and use one of your shotguns at the range, but his old gun...
They don't have shotguns at the range, Molly. You have to bring your own. That's so's if a gun blows up or something, you can't blame them. Oh, gee whiz, my gun is perfectly safe, isn't it, Doc?
Well...
There, you see?
I was just thinking of that safety catch, McGee.
I know. The rubber band broke. But I fixed that.
McGee, please, let's not discuss it any further. I'm not...
With a spring. I fixed it with a spring. It's as good as new. Just tell me where it is. I'll show you. It's okay.
You're the only husband I've got, and I just can't. Oh. Look here. Look, Dr. Gamble will let you shoot his shotgun, won't you, Doctor?
Well, yeah, sure. Matter of fact, I wish he would. Then he won't have those old lame excuses about how his old-type barrel heats up and the heat makes the shot rise and he shoots over the target.
Hey, that's a new one, Johnny. Heat makes the shot rise, huh?
Oh, he's got a million excuses, old-timer. Some of the most original things.
Oh, doggone it. We're just wasting time. You guys sit down. I'm going to hunt for that shotgun.
Now, McGee.
I know it's not in the attic. I cleaned up there a couple of weeks ago. I already looked on the back porch and in my bedroom closet.
McGee, please.
So the only place it must be is out here in the hall closet, and the only way to find it is...
No, McGee, I give up. It's in the den behind it. Don't open that hall closet. Dear.
Gee, I'm sorry, kiddo. I only meant to scare you, but my hand slipped.
Well, at least we found out where the shotgun is, Johnny. In the den, she said. Behind, where was that you said, daughter? Behind the what?
I didn't say.
Oh, come on, Molly. Where is it? Molly.
Well, here we go again.
I found it, fellas. I found my shotgun. It was behind the bookcase.
Oh, good.
Let's get going.
Give me that.
Hey, no, Molly. Oh, gee whiz. Grabbed it right out of my hand. I sure don't understand you today, kiddo. I never did see you make such a fuss over nothing like this.
You're just not going to shoot this old shotgun, McGee.
It's not old. I just call it my old shotgun.
Why can't you use Dr. Gamble's gun?
Welcome to it.
I don't want to use Doc's gun. I'm used to my own.
Hey, look, Molly, would you feel better about it if I checked that gun over thoroughly? Made sure it was in perfect working order before we go?
Yeah, let Doc prove it to you. You trust Doc's judgment, don't you?
Well, yes, but...
If Doc checks it out completely and says it's okay, will that satisfy you?
It's very simple, Molly. I'll look through the barrel first and make sure that's clean.
No, no.
Huh?
All the nice doctor wants to do is look down the barrel, daughter. He won't swab it out or anything.
No!
Gee, I don't know what to say, fellas. I never saw her act like this before. I don't know what's come over you, Molly.
Yeah, Johnny's been shooting his shotgun for years, daughter. 20 years at least that I remember. And, hey, is that thing that old, Johnny? I didn't realize. I mean, it's a mighty fine gun. Fine gun you got there, son. You betcha.
It's a swell gun, and I don't understand why a usually calm, peaceful wife suddenly gets so stubborn over a shotgun that her husband has used hundreds of times without a single accident.
Oh, now, I wouldn't go that far, Sonny. What about last fall in the duck blind when you
I mean a major accident. Even then, when I dropped it on your foot, it didn't go off, did it?
No, but it's lucky it wasn't loaded, because if
So there, it's perfectly safe. So I can't understand why all at once... Hey, what's this? Dropped out of the barrel.
Give me that.
Hey, it's a roll of bills, Johnny. 10, 15, 16...
Now, you see what you did? I've been saving that money to buy McGee a new shotgun.
What?
Oh, no.
Oh, gee whiz, kiddo. Well...
You told me you'd never shoot this broken-down thing again, and I thought you meant it. So I've been hiding money in the barrel till I could get enough. Now you boys have spoiled everything.
Oh, gee whiz,
Well,
Molly.
daughter, I would never have done anything.
Gee, kiddo, I feel awful. Gee whiz. Here a wonderful wife scrimps and saves for months.
Almost a year.
Almost a whole year to buy me a new shotgun, and I have to go louse it all up by being stubborn and bullheaded and stupid and... Oh, gee whiz, kiddo. Well, don't cry.
Well, darn it.
I'll put the money back in the gun barrel. I'll forget all about it. I promise. You can surprise me with a new gun when you get enough saved up, because I'll forget all about it by that time.
Well, how'd you make out at the shooting match, McGee?
Doc hit 30 skeet and I hit 12. It was a tie. So we'll have to do it all over again.
A tie?
Yeah, this tie here with the green polka dots. Kept blowing in my face every time I took aim. Naturally, you can't expect a guy to do his best when a green...
Sorry, I asked.
Oh. So long, everybody.
See you tomorrow. Bye.
Fibber McGee and Molly, transcribed, is brought to you Mondays through Fridays at this time by Miles Laboratories, makers of Alka-Seltzer. Old-Timer and Dr. Gamble are played by Bill Thompson and Arthur Q. Bryant. Join us again tomorrow when McGee becomes a deputy sheriff. He takes it big. This is John Wald bidding you goodbye until then.
You gotta love it. Fibber McGee and Molly, as originally broadcast February 15th, 1956, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Visit my friend Ted over at radiomemories.com. He is a good fellow and has a lot of great old-time radio shows available on cassette tape, CD, or flash drive for your computer. And, of course, if you get them on flash drive for your computer, you can move them over to your phone and listen to them on your phone if you want. It's radiomemories.com. Talk to my friend Ted and tell him I sent you by, won't you please? Would you also tell our friends at your favorite radio station and the advertisers thereof that you thank them for bringing classic radio theater to you here on this station? It is their kindness and courtesy, the advertisers and the station, that we're here each and every time we roll around. Thank them, please, won't you? And visit my webpage. I have a webpage which is classicradio.stream. Now there you can not only stream our shows on demand, you can learn more about classic radio collecting, you can find all our social media links, and you can contact me directly at classicradio.stream. If you miss a day, you don't have to miss a show. You can hear our shows on my webpage or on YouTube, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Spreaker, TuneIn, Amazon, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast. Just search for Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Thanks for tuning in. Tell all your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater on your favorite radio station.